take you on a brief journey through 3 European competence frameworks: EntreComp, GreenComp and DigCompEdu. Each offers us a lens for thinking about what it means to grow as educators, learners and citizens. I'll focus on 5 key elements: motivation, perseverance, reflection, critical thinking and digital feedback. Let's begin with EntreComp. This European framework highlights motivation and perseverance as essential for learning and entrepreneurship. It's about staying focused on goals, showing resilience in the face of setbacks, and celebrating small wins along the way. Learners and we as educators are called to recognise what drives us and to use strategies like goal setting or progress tracking to maintain determination. Without perseverance, even the most brilliant ideas can fade. But motivation and perseverance are not enough. EntreComp also stresses learning through reflection. This means pausing to consider both successes and failures, our own and those of others. Reflection transforms experience into knowledge. It allows us to ask, what worked? What didn't? And what will I do differently next time? By embedding reflection in our teaching, we help students turn every attempt into a stepping stone for growth.
Mindset, EntreComp. Resilience and metacognition, the engine of action. Turning obstacles into learning through persistence and self-analysis. Core concepts: perseverance, the ability to stay determined and recover from temporary failures. Reflection, critically evaluating one's own progress to learn how to learn. Real-world application, the robotics project, Poland. Students at the University of Zielona Góra didn't just build gadgets. When their automated greenhouse prototypes failed, they didn't quit. They practiced perseverance by troubleshooting technical glitches and used reflection sessions to analyze why their initial plans shifted. The teacher acted as a guide, but the students owned the resilience.
And now let's connect this to GreenComp, which is rooted in sustainability. One of the core competencies is critical thinking. Critical thinking here is not just analysing information. It is questioning assumptions, recognising bias, and even challenging the status quo. For example, when we hear claims about green solutions, critical thinking helps us distinguish genuine efforts from mere greenwashing. Importantly, it reminds us that our cultural backgrounds and perspectives influence how we interpret problems and also how we interpret solutions. Cultivating critical thinking equips learners to act responsibly and propose better futures. And how do we act on this responsibility? Through collective action. GreenComp frames this as the willingness and ability to collaborate, to build coalitions, and to work democratically towards sustainable change. It's about shared responsibility, recognizing that no single individual can solve complex challenges alone. By engaging in collective responsibility, we turn knowledge and values into meaningful, community-driven action.
Sustainability and systems thinking, GreenComp. Thinking green, acting together. Analyzing complexity through critical thinking and shared duty. Core concepts: critical thinking, challenging the status quo and evaluating information to make sustainable choices. Collective responsibility, understanding that social and ecological change requires a team effort, students, teachers, and parents. Real-world application, Dobraya Lyra, Russia. This literary competition moved beyond the classroom to involve a school team of parents and the public. By creating meaningful content for an external audience, students developed collective responsibility. They used critical thinking to ensure their work was culturally and socially relevant, proving that sustainability is as much about community health as it is about the environment.
And finally, let's bring in DigComPEdu, which speaks directly to us as educators. It reminds us that digital tools can powerfully support assessment, feedback and planning. Instead of relying only on traditional tests, digital strategies allow us to diversify assessment formats, gather evidence of learning, and provide immediate targeted feedback. More importantly, this feedback doesn't just close a task, it helps learners and parents plan next steps, encouraging self-regulation and active involvement in learning.
Digital Edge, DigComPEdu, empowering education through digital tools. Streamlining progress with adaptive feedback and smart planning. Core concepts, digital planning, using technology to organize workflows and collaborative projects. Digital feedback, utilizing e-portfolios and digital tools to provide real-time, actionable insights. Real-world application, EScape project, UK. At Goldsmiths University, digital peripheral tools transform how creativity is measured. Instead of a single final grade, students used electronic portfolios to record their journey. This allowed for digital planning of complex prototypes and provided a platform for adaptive feedback, where teachers could comment on the process of drawing and thinking, not just the final result.
Together, a powerful picture emerges. From EntreComp, we take perseverance and reflection. From GreenComp, we take critical thinking and collective responsibility. And from DigComPEdu, we apply digital feedback and planning. Together, they remind us that learning is not only about acquiring knowledge, it's about cultivating resilience, reflecting deeply, questioning critically, acting collectively, and using technology wisely to guide progress. And now, as we step back into our classrooms, communities and institutions, I invite you to reflect. How can I motivate and support perseverance? How can I build moments of reflection into learning? How can I nurture critical thinkers who take collective responsibility? And how can I use digital tools not just to assess, but to guide growth? If we can integrate these questions into our daily practice, we will not only empower learners to succeed, we will help shape a more resilient, thoughtful, and sustainable society. Thank you for your attention.